Hi, everybody. This is Deb Militello, and this is Hey, Bay City.
I think I recorded a podcast with Bridget Steffolino 2 weeks ago, and one of the things that she brought up was myTeam Triumph. And I had very surface level understanding of what exactly it was. But I dug into it even more, and everybody I knew was like, you have to do a story on myTeam Triumph. You have to do a story on myTeam Triumph. So your name kept coming up, obviously, and I said, okay, let's get Deb in here. So maybe to start, just give us a quick 101 of what exactly myTeam Triumph is.
Okay. So myTeam Triumph is an athletic program that we give an opportunity for people who normally could not participate in a race. In our area, we mainly do road races, but we also have the ability to do triathlons. So it's a full athletic experience. And we assist the captains. The captains are the people who have a disability of some sort, physical or mental. We help them get to the finish line and be able to do that race. The entire race experience is about the captain. The athletes who assist them are called angels. The race is not about them. It's not about their finish line, their finish time. They don't get a medal. They get no recognition. It's all about the captain and their experience and making it their best day possible. The captain always crosses the finish line first.
I love this. Every once in a while on TV during an Ironman, you see something similar. And what's so beautiful about this is that this is in our community with people that we know, either as an angel or as a captain. It's not just somebody on TV, on ESPN. It's people literally running our streets with our neighbors and things like that. And it's just a beautiful way to include everybody in the community. And something like the St. Patrick's Day races, which is really just a huge community event.
It's a great way to bring inclusion to our area. There's so many opportunities if you are an athlete or a runner to be an angel and come out and help. But we also have volunteers, and we need help with registration. We need help with refreshments. There's a lot of behind the scenes. So it's inclusion. What I say to people is if you have the opportunity to do it, it's life-changing. Truly is life-changing.
So my understanding of myTeam Triumph is that there's chapters of myTeam. So maybe tell me about how that started, or maybe let's start all the way back to how you got first involved with myTeam Triumph.
A little bit of history is myTeam Triumph was actually born right here in Michigan, in West Michigan. It has since grown into other chapters. They try to do it by state now. So there's the Illinois chapter. Michigan has a chapter. West Michigan was the first chapter. They are very alive, vibrant, and they do a lot of racing. Pre-COVID, we did more racing. We were doing probably 8 to 10 events a year and triathlons. We're just getting back into it, kind of lost our steam as with a lot of things did. But how I got involved was I had seen through Facebook that a classmate of mine was doing some events with myTeam Triumph. And I didn't really understand what it was, same as what you do. Unless you dig in, you don't know. And about a month or two later, I was doing the Rock and Roll Marathon, the half marathon series in Las Vegas. And when I took off running, before we took off at the start, they had announced that myTeam Triumph was here. And I'm like, they're here? Really? Oh, and they got an earlier start time. They went out first. So I was, corral 4 or 5. So I was back ways. So as I started running, I passed a team. And I got to see what it was about. I got to see the joy, the smile. That captain had a smile the whole time. And I'm cheering for them. And it was so moving. As I continued to run, you just kept passing more and more teams. And it was just an amazing experience to see the uniqueness of it and the teamwork. And so when I got back, I messaged my friend, Rick Ayotte, and just told him, it's incredible. What I saw and witnessed was incredible. And how do I become a part of this? And that's what got the ball rolling. And Kristen Sandsburn and I were running a lot together, and she was on board, and she's my co-partner in crime. And we had kind of like a town hall meeting at the Y and brought people in, and our community was just amazing. We just took off running, as far as, no pun intended. We received a grant from the Bay Area Community Foundation through Dow, a big $10,000 grant, which allowed us to get our trailer. The Bay Area Runners Club was hugely instrumental in support for our chariots. They're a very expensive chair, and they have purchased 2 for us. So a lot of businesses it's hard to say no to an organization like this that does bring inclusion and kind of hits all the feels that everyone wants to be a part of it.
Yeah, the idea of inclusion, especially in an event like this, is just so beautiful because here you have 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, however many thousands of people packed into every nook and cranny here in downtown Bay City to either participate or watch these races all weekend long, whether you're running or you're meeting at the South End at a bar or something like that. And if myTeam Triumph did not exist, we would be leaving out such a critical and important segment of our population. And myTeam Triumph comes in and says, this is an event for the entire community. It is an inclusive event. It's not just competitive racers. And this just highlights that so much more, that we reach into every part of our population, say, you can participate in this too. And that's just so amazing to me.
And what's amazing too is people say yes. The Bay Area Runners Club says yes.
Yep.
Dig Deep Race Organization, they say yes. They want us there. They do what they can to facilitate, to get us there, because sometimes it's not easy. There is little legal things or insurance or waivers, and whatever has to be done, they do. Linda Flews, Andy Brady, we work so closely with them, and John Shancool. They just make it possible. They make it easy. They make us feel so welcome. It's just hard to explain it. And it is inclusion for them and for us and for the community. And it brings out the best in all people.
That's such an important point, because sometimes if you've never run a huge event before, like most of us haven't, or have worked with governments or agencies or anything like that, things can get complicated. It's considerably more complicated than just simply saying yes to something, because, and in terms of funding too, well, here's this group of people wanting to do this, but don't necessarily have the funds to purchase considerably expensive chariots in order to pull it off. And so you need funding partners, and you need partners that come in and say, we will take care of the insurance, we will take care of all the back end work because we want this to happen. And it pays off. Every single photo of myTeam Triumph from all of these races just smiles on it's the happiest. To me, running is not exactly the happiest activity. I'm not super good at it, but here are these people just absolutely beaming from ear to ear, either before the race or after the race, because of what's happening.
Exactly. And you know, when you do a race for yourself, you are having that struggle, that fight, that push, that drive to push yourself. You take yourself right out of it as an angel, because you're there for that captain to give them a good experience and to make it fun. And so we have one captain, and he tells jokes the whole way.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's great. So you're laughing, just do whatever it takes.
Awesome. What's the typical participation? How many captains do you have? How many angels do you usually have?
We have the equipment for 14 in our area. Pre-COVID, once again, St. Patrick's race is our biggest race of the year. We have had 22, I believe, was our biggest. 22 captains, which is a lot.
That's a crew.
That's 22 captains. It's at least 66 angels. It's probably 12 to 15 volunteers, and then the families that come to the event. So you never know in Bay City what you're going to get St. Patrick's Day. I've run in shorts and a tank top, and I've run in 3 layers. So we try to have an indoor venue. This year we are at the Comfort Inn in Bay City. They are so generous to us, allow us to come in at no charge.
Awesome.
We get to use their facility on Saturday to set up all of our equipment, which is a huge help. And then our captains and families and angels can all stay warm. We congregate before the race. And this year we have 10 captains. It's a smaller indoor space, so that's what the venue allows us to have.
Yeah.
And so it can differ anywhere, but usually we have 10, but we have had up to 22, that's a huge undertaking.
Yeah, yeah. So if somebody's listening to this and they're thinking, I want to be an angel, or I want to be a volunteer. I can't run, but I want to help in some kind of way. How would people go about becoming
The best way is we have a Facebook page, and it's just myTeam Triumph, all one word, Great Lakes Bay Region. And that's basically how we reach out to all of our captains and angels. Our captains get invitations through email once we get that information, but
Okay.
I've had a lot of people just, hey, I have a child who's disabled and I want to get them involved. And so I will private message
beautiful.
them and get their information and call them and talk with them on the side. But that's the best way. We're on the page all the time. If you have a question, we try to answer it right away. So put that out there. I can private message, I can phone call, we can email.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. In my understanding, we're obviously talking about St. Patrick's Day. We're so focused on it. It's coming up. It's such a big deal. But my impression is that this is more than just St. Patrick's Day race. If you're not available on St. Patrick's, or if you're running competitively, but you still want to get involved, there's plenty of other opportunities. Is that correct?
Right,
Okay.
right. We haven't had finalized our races for 2023 yet. Last year was our first year race after the COVID shutdown. We did some virtual races in 2021. And then last year we did 2 races, the St. Patrick's race and then the St. Stan's race in the south end of Bay City. That race has always been near and dear because it was our first race. That's where we started. It's called Back to Our Roots. So a couple of the other races that we've done are no longer races. So we haven't finalized or picked our races for the 2023 season yet.
Cool. But if you want to get involved in some way, check out that Facebook page, myTeam
Absolutely.
Triumph, Great Lakes Bay. As that schedule gets finalized, more opportunities. Definitely come to the St. Patrick's Day race here in Bay City.
Yes.
Cheer on myTeam Triumph. Maybe take a little run with some punchkis on the side if you're not actually in the race. But man, what an incredible gift to this community, gift to these folks who are so important to our community. And I want to thank you, Deb, for you and everybody else that are really integral in spearheading this, because if it wasn't for you and folks like you and all the partners that you mentioned, we wouldn't have this. And it really takes people to say, hey, this is important. I'm willing to do the work in order to do this. And I just want to say thanks. So.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a joy, and it's just a great way to give back. And it just fills your heart. I can't explain it. I really hope if you're listening and don't know what we're about, come on out. Stop by the Comfort Inn.
Yep.
Come see us. Cheer for us on the sideline. There's so many parts that you can do, and it's life-changing. Even our angels, we've never had anyone regret. And there are races, and I get it. Being a runner myself, there are times when you're competitive and you want your time and you want to beat your time from last year. This isn't the race. This isn't the time for that at all.
Yeah,
it's not about you.
Yeah, this is a time to give a gift to someone, to use that physical fitness to be able to give that smile across the finish line to somebody who may not be able to cross it by themselves, and being able to help them in that way, man.
Yeah.
So cool.
And we do have some angels who are physically somewhat mobile, but couldn't do a whole. We actually do the 8K for the St. Patrick's race, so it's almost 5 miles. But at the end, they get out and they cross on their own.
Awesome.
With a walker,
Heck yeah.
crutches, sometimes by themselves. And it's very touching. It's very moving. And
I love it. So people, if you're listening at home, get involved somehow, either as a volunteer, as an angel, as somebody cheering them on the sidelines, swinging by the Comfort Inn, doing something to cheer on these people so important to our community, and cheering Deb and the rest of the angels and the volunteers on as they do this important work. Deb, I want to thank you so much for being here today, chatting.
Thank
I'll
you,
see
Phil.
you on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, thank you.